Yes, we are back with some more of Queen's Empowerment. And yes, I go by the name of Barry Moses, or It's Barry on every social media platform. As always, 22162 is still our SMS line. Start with the word YM254. Don't forget to leave your name and where you're watching us from. I'm so excited about this particular interview because we go way back, and I just figured that right now she's a graduate at Harvard, and she's empowering the kids and empowering the youth. And 70%, as she told me, of her work, she works with the Queens rather, and that's why she's here with us today. She goes by the name of Peggy, and our organization's name is PACE. Karibu sana Peggy.
Asante Barry. Thank you so much.
Peggy, this is so, I don't know if I should say exciting, because I just figured we went to the same primary school.
We went to the same primary school. Zavarian is so awesome.
Yes. The products of this school. We should mention quite a few, but that is for another time. Thank you, Karibu Sana.
Asante.
Whatever you're doing is amazing. I'd like to start with your background in education. After Zavarian, you went to high school in...
After Zavarian, I went to Loreto High School, Limuru, where I studied for 4 years, did my KCSE. Then through the Zawadi Africa Education Fund, I got a scholarship to Harvard University in the US. So I studied...
Zawadi is the same one by Boya?
Yes, Dr. Susan Boya. Yes, so she's one of my mentors and one of the people who has sort of gone before me in terms of women empowerment and really helped show me the ropes.
All right.
So after spending 4 years at Harvard, I was studying chemistry, but in all my extra time, and even with the discretional classes I had, I took classes at the Harvard Graduate School of Education. So this were master's level classes.
So you have always been interested in impacting education?
Impacting women and girls through education.
Through education?
Yes.
Education is the key, as they say.
Education is at the heart of any society, and it's how you grow basically any community. If you get people educated, they can think, they can actually make decisions about what direction they want to take their communities.
Were you best in science in primary school? Because chemistry. Why chemistry?
I was really good in science and math, and I mean, I enjoyed these things. I think I was the curious kid who would do things like, you get grapes and you try convert it into wine at home. And I remember once
done these all these people.
So
this is very interesting.
I was curious about chemistry because you can use that knowledge to actually invent and innovate new things. Yes.
Amazing. Fast forward, you came back to Kenya.
So I came back to Kenya in 2014.
All right. In a typical situation, or in an ideal situation, once you go to the States, your family always pressure you to stay in the States and work there because there are more opportunities there. Did you get the same pressure?
Actually, my family has been very supportive, but it goes back a bit to the commitment I made when getting the Zawadi scholarship. Our motto is that each one, teach one. So each one of us has to give the gift of education to the next generation. So I come at women empowerment from the direction of not just having been a beneficiary, but someone who wants to continue that chain of giving back, which is how PACE got started. So with each one teaching one, I was like, okay, we can look at teaching one, but how do we move that to teaching 1,000 and even 1 million kids in Kenya? I have big dreams. I believe that young people in this country are not just going to be people who are beneficiaries of change, but they can actually be at the forefront of making our education system better. I think that education is an opportunity to train young people and young women in leadership skills. And I believe that empowerment is not just lecturing people. I believe empowerment is giving people the opportunity to get their hands wet and then to give them the support that they need to make a difference in their lives and the lives of their community. So PACE gets young people, recent high school graduates, to come and volunteer in under-resourced schools. And the idea is that you go in as a tutor, as a mentor, as someone who's giving remedial support, and you are basically a big brother or a big sister, big sibling that these kids can look up to. 70% of our volunteers, we call them fellows actually, are female, and they're young people who believe that they are part of the solution. So I'll give you a few examples.
All right. Before you give me examples, let's not forget that you were supposed to give me example. But why most of them women? Is it the recruiting process, or women are just tend to be more volunteering, for lack of better words?
Do women volunteer more? I think we have seen more interest among young women in volunteering. In fact, we see people who see volunteering as an opportunity. So you're not going just to give back, but you're learning invaluable skills. So when we talk about the process of PACE, we tell young people, okay, you will go, you will serve, but this is what you'll get out. You'll become a better leader, you'll become a better communicator, you'll become a better problem solver, and you'll have tangible work product or tangible results. A lot of us, you finish high school or you finish campus and someone is asking you to put together your CV, and the only thing you can write is the name of your high school and the name of your campus and what you studied, but nothing more.
No experience whatsoever, no volunteering experience whatsoever.
So one tangible way of empowering girls is to actually give them that platform where they can actually build their own CVs, build their profiles, but meanwhile do something meaningful for the community. So when someone says I volunteered with PACE, they're not saying I just volunteered, they're saying this is the number of kids I was helping, this is how their grades actually improved, this is the project I led in the school. So did I start a math club, a science club, a chess club, and these are the results, this is the number of kids I was able to grow their confidence. So it's working to how do you actually measure the type of impact that individual girls in our
And do you actually follow up these reports, or it's voluntary if you want to, or you have to deliver once
you have to? So at PACE you really have to deliver, and I believe, we look at it and see results in our schools. So we have schools that have moved in KCP from a place where the mean score was 199 out of 500 to 227, and a second school that's moved from 225 to 250, and it's it's impact that's being driven by young people. This is a mean score, so you're talking about 70 kids whose performance, 80 kids whose performance has dramatically risen, and it's all led by young people. So that's one level of delivery. But last year, the other thing our volunteers were able to do for the schools is raise donations from local corporates worth $5,000. So this is books donated to different schools. So let's say I was an alumni at one of our alumni was a student at Makini. So he went back to Makini and said, okay, Makini, you have all these wonderful extra books in your library. Can you actually come and give them to this primary school? Because there are kids who need them out there. Yeah, so through that connection, you see new resources are flowing to the school. We have a volunteer who decided to write to this music program and got 50 music recorders, music stands, and music booklets. Again, equipment that's pretty expensive, and even got a music coach assigned to train the girls and the boys in his school around just music skills. So now you have all these people who are talented and children who are exploring their talent again. Change that is,
and they're staying out of trouble as well.
Yeah, of course.
So it's not only driven by what they can do by teaching or assisting in teaching, their connections as well. They bring them to PACE, which is very important.
Yes, and then it's also
young people impacting the world. Let me just talk to the Y in the Morning family for a short one. Why young people impacting the world through PACE. 22162 is our SMS line. Start with the word YM254. Don't forget to leave your name and where you're watching us from. Your views, your comments, and your questions are invited. And today, not to me, to Peggy herself. Yes. So some already streaming in, but before we can sample them, back to you. You were giving me an example, if you can remember.
Yes. So for me, I think about the young people who've gone through PACE and graduated. So Nora, for instance, one of our alums, how she went through, served her volunteer period, graduated, went to college in Stanford, and decided she loves coding. So she's come back the year after her first year to now teach coding. So she runs a coding boot camp where again she's training 20 young people in global level coding skills. And some of these people have been able to get employment as a result of Nora's training. So again, it's another generation of a young woman giving back.
All right, so primary school kids have the capacity to learn coding.
So she was training people in uni and also high school graduates.
And also high school graduates. But it's very important to introduce these things at a very early age. Yes. When you went to Harvard, coding is...
So, coding is a universal language. And I think it's one of those things I regret not doing. But now I am actually following up. I like that there's so many online resources that you can actually self-teach.
And you can learn it at any age. Because some people say, maybe it's too late for me now. I can't learn coding now. You can learn it at any age, and it's important for each and every person in every field. You think is so as well?
To become tech savvy, tech familiar, and figure out what can I use this tech opportunity for. Because again, opportunities are all around us. So how do we leverage them? So one of the things we do at PACE, for instance, is we have a tech community, and we take them, like as part of our fellowship, we take them to visit the iHub, take them to visit places like Andela, so they see what is happening in the ecosystem, and how can I begin to plan my career around this. So how can I begin to look at where can I plug in and where can I have impact. So we're not just having impact in education. Through our programs, we're able to also have impact in tech.
All right.
Yes.
How many counties so far?
So we're in 4 counties. We're in Nairobi, Kiambu, Kajiado, and Machakos County.
Are you looking
in 47?
Soon to be in 47 counties. What about our home county? Don't say it though. All right.
We'll go back to yes.
Okay. And I'd like to know, are you present online?
So we do have an online presence. So our Facebook page is PACE, Promoting Access to Community Education. Our Twitter is at PACE Kenya, and our Instagram is PACE Kenya.
All right. Just in case somebody wants to volunteer for PACE, and the person is watching right now, what are the requirements? Do they need a college degree? Do they need a high school certificate? What do they need to be a volunteer?
So first step is to make sure they have their high school certificate for our volunteering program.
Is there a minimum grade?
What?
A minimum grade?
So we do a cutoff for the C+. Yes, for academic programs. For volunteering in sports and music and non-academic facets, then it's a bit more open. But then we expect that if you're going to be volunteering in math, you actually have a sterling grade at math. Or if you're doing,
so there are specifics that you need to go through as well.
Yes. So that we verify during the application process. So you have your high school certificate, you apply. The application is available online on our website. And then you'll receive an invitation to an interview should you be shortlisted. So it's actually quite a formalized process. So after the shortlisting and the interview, then we'll go through a training, so an orientation.
How long is the training? So
it's a week-long pre-filled induction process, so that you understand PACE, but how to provide help that is also helpful in schools. You understand the rules, the regulations, the policies, because this is a professional environment. Yes. So then after that, we each commit to 15 hours a week at least. 15 hours a week? And you're attached to at least one class that you continue to support for the duration of the entire fellowship. You're attached to one class and 15 hours a week is required from you. All right. And what if you have another job? What if you have another job? So and you'd like to volunteer still? You really want to? We love people who have jobs because we get the opportunity to have them come in as career mentors. So we are often doing career days. And the kids in our schools, the kids in Kibera, might not have access to come and talk to Barry about being a presenter. What does it mean to be a presenter on a TV show? What does it mean to be a journalist? So then hearing from the horse's mouth by having you go to Kawangware would be such an amazing opportunity for them. So we have professionals come to our schools during the career days. So they're able to actually talk and share. This is another program. This is another program as part of our work. But it's, again, exposure and opportunity, because exposure is fatal to bigotry. We believe that kids... Just say that again. Exposure is fatal to bigotry. Exposure is fatal to bigotry. White words from a decent woman right here. But if you get kids... I mean, if a child wants to be a soldier and they've never really seen a soldier, then they're less likely to continue pursuing that dream in the face of the challenges that they will experience. So we bring a soldier in front of them. We bring a TV presenter, we bring a CEO, they see teachers every day, so we don't need to bring any more teachers. But we bring doctors. They get to hear, okay, what does it take to be a camera person, a photographer? How do you actually succeed in this career, and what does it take honestly to start? I'm definitely enrolling for this. So the pillars are mentorship and education. Those are the two big pillars. The two big pillars. Yes. All right. After a training of 1 week and passing all these tests, what is the minimum time you can volunteer? So you commit to 6 months. So you're doing at least 2 school terms. And then you do 15 hours a week. And once every 2 weeks, we actually have additional training. So we don't just train you and send you off. There's a lot of high contact and high relationships. So we keep investing in each of the volunteers in our program. All right. So just in case, this is the last part of this. Just in case you think they're watching and they think they've passed all these requirements, how do they apply? I think the best way is to go through our website. We also have a hotline that they can call. So our number is 0708.
Just talk to that camera right now.
Our number is 0708 219 000. That's the PACE number, 0708.
Just hold your mic steady.
0708 219 000.
All right. Thank you very much. And I'd just like to sample some of the feedback. Some feedback before we can carry on with the conversation. This comes from Mzee Gituro. It says Githunguri town is watching. Thank you very much. Abdallah Mdambo says good morning, Sana. We appreciate you for watching. Lady Gun Olokin says ladies should spend money on them, man. This is as a result of the question that Feline is going to be handling with the Queens on the Queens Talk. But thank you for already sending your feedback. And Kimbi Mwea is watching. Nicholas wa Barcelona says tuned. Sharif Shadif Kilelu says Queens Twawa Sikiza nyenye leo sisi ma Kings. Okay, it seems like it's going to be a heated conversation today. Keep them coming our way. As I get to the end of this, I'd like to know, what is the future of base?
I think the future is two things. One is just geographic expansion. As I mentioned, we are expanding towards
47 counties.
47 counties.
Our county should be there.
Our county will be there. Our big vision is to get to 6,000 volunteers across the country in 10 years. Right now we're at 150, so that number is going to continue growing. We've done 172.
Let's say 151 now, because I think of
yes.
it. All right.
Yes. We are
just hold the mic steady.
We are at 172,000 hours of tutoring and mentoring. I look forward to getting that to 1 million. So in addition to geographic expansion, now we're actually working on a tech platform in-house. So we realize that the future of even volunteering is in tech. So looking at how can we connect people who want to volunteer but outside regions that PACE has focus with community organizations that are there that are looking for volunteers. So we're building a platform for that. So just watch out, it'll be out soon.
So a platform is going to be available for
so
connecting, networking.
People who want to volunteer and organizations they can volunteer in.
Amazing.
All
so
right.
you already have a team working on this?
Yes, we do.
Some of them from Harvard.
There's a lot of locally available talent in Kenya.
Amazing. So I like that you're utilizing local talent.
Yes.
All right. Running all these operations must be expensive, right?
Yes, it is.
How do you manage?
How do we manage? I mean, we run like any other business. You have to have income streams and you have to have revenues as well. So we do a lot of fundraising. Our journey has been, it has evolved. So we started with friends and family, people who wanted to sponsor this. And then we've moved to a place where we're writing a lot of grant proposals and getting a lot of funding like that. And then now we're in the phase where we're also developing business products. So we do a lot of training and we get invited to train for people. So that's an example of our revenue.
I'm interested in these business products.
So there's a lot of revenue just coming in from training. Yes.
From training.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Peggy, for PACE. And there's a question that is coming in that goes something like, what is PACE in full?
PACE is promoting access to community education.
Promoting access to community education.
Yeah.
Right? Peggy herself. Very powerful woman in studio with us. Would you like to send some shout outs to some people who have made it possible for PACE to get this far? Your camera is number 4.
All right. So first of all, my husband, because he's been through the ups and downs of this journey with me. So Jacob, I salute you. And then my dad and mom and my aunt, really, these people who have walked this journey. And to all the PACE volunteers, I mean, PACE would not be PACE without you, really. I love our alumni. I love our current volunteers. And then to the teachers that we work with. Thank you so much. And especially Mr. Monari and Mrs. Kelonye. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Peggy. I'm looking forward to working with you in future. And I'm looking forward to you bringing some of the beneficiaries of PACE to studio so that they can just inspire some of the Y in the Morning family and fans.
All right, happy to come back. Happy to come back again. Thank you.
Strong girl behind the scene.
Yes.
This has been another segment of Queen's Wednesday, and today our focus, our personality of the day was Peggy, who runs PACE. Remind me again what PACE stands for.
Promoting access to community education.
Yes, and she's really doing this in a very special way, and she's working with the women and the youth. So if you'd like to enroll, just head straight to their website and volunteer. I'm already signing up for this. Feeling Jean will be back with the Queens for the Queen's Talks, so don't go nowhere.